We are here to discuss my filing of my first legislative bill, House Bill 1004, to reduce copper theft. I'm also happy to report that I've been joined today and reached out to by a number of organizations and other interested parties, including the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, the Public Service Company of Oklahoma, OG&E, the BNSF Railway, Union Pacific Railroad, Kansas City Southern and Farm Rail, the Oklahoma Metal Recyclers, and the City of Oklahoma City. So I'm excited that the bill has already garnered some attention, and I'm excited to share more with you about it today. With the goal of strengthening legislation to stop the tremendous loss of taxpayer resources to copper theft, I'm announcing today that I filed a bill aimed at not only adding verification requirements for buyers and sellers, but doubling fines and creating a new section of law to encircle those who would provide cover at midpoints in the sales transactions of copper. My office has begun an in-depth loss assessment to copper theft, and our initial findings regarding loss are shocking, with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation reporting costs to replace stolen copper wire for highway lighting along one section of I-40 estimated at upwards of $700,000. In addition to ODOT, OG&E, and other utilities, our state railroads, home builders, and oil rig operators, just to name a few, are heavily impacted. This crime of stealing from commercial or public locations generally results in the theft of what current law refers to as burnt copper wire, and it is always illegal to be in possession of this material with the intent to sell. However, private citizens face loss to theft on a daily basis as well, with copper plumbing pipe and copper from air conditioning units and electrical wiring also targeted by thieves. The problem is rampant within Oklahoma County, and Cleveland County recorded a recent $30,000 loss in one theft. 2 weeks ago, the Tulsa City Council had to take an emergency action to place additional deterrents in the path of copper thieves. This is a rural problem as well. Farmers and ranchers are certainly not immune. It's a statewide issue that bleeds our resources, and we need a statewide solution. There's also a human element here that shouldn't go unrecognized. Law enforcement substantiates that much of this crime is committed by those addicted to drugs or alcohol. Copper theft is a symptom of a much larger problem. Mental health and substance abuse treatment is greatly needed in our state, with Oklahoma ranking consistently near the top in underfunding these essential programs. That said, I've built in considerations for recent criminal justice reform efforts and have kept sentences reasonable and provisions for those struggling with substance abuse who might be involved in the theft of copper to be referred to drug court whenever possible. I have to ask myself, how many mental health-related programs could we fund if we stopped copper theft from happening? Or how many services for our children and seniors could we provide long-term if millions of dollars were saved and returned to our agencies and schools? Current law is woefully inadequate. Thieves are assessed relatively low fines and can be convicted of significant copper theft and face only a misdemeanor charge within the current Oklahoma Scrap Metal Dealers Act language. It is also my concern that there are profiteers acting as middlemen who buy from street thieves and sell to the commercial recycler because they possess the legitimate identification to verify their right to sell clean copper stolen from homes and businesses, and who found sources to which they can also market burnt copper from streetlights and other public or commercial venues. Therefore, I have filed Bill HB 1004 that requires that any individual or non-commercial vendor selling copper obtain an annual non-commercial vendor permit. The bill requires that permitting information be held in a state database and that fines for those caught and convicted be doubled. In addition, there will be a new felony for those convicted of acting as a middleman, buying to resell stolen copper. We know that we have honest, hardworking commercial recyclers and vendors of copper who've cooperated with law enforcement, and we appreciate that cooperation and hope that they see this bill as a tool to further their efforts.